Hello everyone, it's the Effort Adventure here back with another review, and today I'm doing, if you're reading this, It's Too Late by Drake. It was released February 13th of this year, 2015. Some chart information, it peaked number 1 on the US Billboard 200, and number 1 on the Billboard Canadian Albums chart. It's released on the label Cash Money, and its only single is Preach. So without further ado, let's get this started. Now, regarding this album, it's a little confusing because it's not exactly an LP. It's actually a mixtape, but seeing as Drake sold it and everything, some people consider it to be a studio album. But since Drake himself refers to it as a mixtape, I too refer to it as a mixtape. The whole reason for this confusion was because Drake wants to leave Cash Money Records, just like his mentor Lil Wayne does, and he decided to refer to this album as a mixtape, and then secretly release it as an LP in order to fulfill his contract with Cash Money. And the title itself is kind of a trolling message to Birdman. This mixtape was a complete surprise to everyone. Drake just threw it out there saying, here you go, and within 3 days, he already sold nearly 500,000 copies, and it was streaming over like 40,000 times, which really just goes to show how popular Drake really is. In usual Drake fashion, this mixtape has a mixture of singing and rapping, as well as the whole rhyming on pitch that Drake is so famous for, and along with hip-hop, there are elements of R&B thrown in there to kind of cater to Drake's particular style. The opening track is called Legend, and for a while it was my favorite track on this mixtape. I felt that it was a really strong opener, and regardless of what anyone says about Drake, the song says, "If I die, I'm a legend," which is very much true, and I definitely can't argue with that. The sample of Genuine's So Anxious is spot on, the beat is spot on, the production is spot on, and kind of sets up the vibe for the rest of the mixtape, and it's really just a nice track in general. Perhaps I like it so much because to me it has a very urban gospel vibe, and I grew up listening to gospel music, so yeah. But really it's just a nice song, so yeah. On a lot of tracks, Drake is doing that thing where he extends words and lyrics to fill in a phrase, and I know a lot of people think that's cool to do that, and a lot of rappers are doing it these days, so it's not just Drake, but in my eyes, that's just lazy. Making a single word or a couple of words longer is not good lyricism. It leads me to believe that they couldn't come up with anything else to say. A lot of subject matter is discussed on this mixtape, but it's nothing Drake hasn't really talked about before. The majority of it is him talking about growing up in Toronto, Canada, like Six God, Star, 67, Six Man, and so on. And if you're wondering what those sixes mean, I'll get to that in a second. But anyways, there's plenty of braggadocious tracks in here as well, of course. Right from the get-go, you have 10 bands where he talks about how much richer he's gotten, and Legend could kind of be taken as a braggadocious song, considering he's referring to himself as a legend. Other themes in this mixtape revolve around romance and picking up girls like in Madonna, Wednesday Night Interlude, and Company. Of course, it's no secret that Drake is frequently called the softest in the game because of his willingness to talk about such personal, touchy-feely subject matters like romance as opposed to simply getting with girls just to have sex with them. Now, getting back to the whole 6 thing, the number 6 is frequently used and referenced throughout the mixtape, and why? Well, 6 is actually referring to the area codes in Toronto, Canada where he's from, specifically the area codes 416 and 647. I guess it's kind of like how people refer to Chicago, Illinois as Chi-Town, and Drake is now making it popular to refer to that specific area as the 6, as he talks about running through the 6 with my woes, or his crew, on the track Know Yourself. One of the other prevalent themes on this mixtape is him dealing with haters and people who look down on him. This is first shown in Energy, where he talks about himself having plenty of energy to deal with people who hate on him. He even throws a shot at Tyga on the final track 6 PM in New York, because Tyga said in an interview that he doesn't like Drake as a person. In response, Drake says that that was childish to say and that he should act his own age and not his girl's age, which is funny because at the time Tyga's girl Kylie Jenner was only 17. However, one of the biggest and most interesting points on the mixtape is on Now and Forever, where he's talking about his relationship with Cash Money, or a lack thereof, stating that he's leaving. However, this could partially refer to a strained relationship, but knowing what people like Drake and Lil Wayne have been going through regarding their label, it seems only right. Now that we've gotten some of the themes out of the way, let's talk about the actual music. The majority of the beats were very dark, very bass heavy, the production fit the beats very, very well, and the beats were just heavy in general. A lot of the beats I really enjoyed listening to, I just felt like a lot of the rapping itself was weak most of the time. Nothing particularly stuck out to me. The beat change on tracks like Star 67 and Preach I thought were really cool to hear, and a lot of the hooks were really smooth and intricate, but I can't stress enough how much I dislike the hook on Madonna. It sounds lazy and it feels lazy. Drake is just kind of mumbling words and expects it to be hot. Not only that, but the hook on Preach, which was done by Party Next Door, I did not like. There aren't a whole lot of features on this mixtape, and the ones that are there aren't nothing to sing praises about. Lil Wayne is featured on the track Used To, and he does alright. Again, nothing special. On the track Wednesday Night Interlude, it's actually Party Next Door singing the entire thing, and I wasn't sure what to make of it, considering it's Drake's mixtape, and I'm still not really sure what to make of it. I guess all I can say is that it's a rather nice change of pace for the mixtape. I just don't see why Party Next Door sang the entirety of the song with no Drake whatsoever when it's his mixtape. Perhaps the most poignant track on the mixtape, as well as the most polarizing, is the track You and the Six, where Drake is actually talking to his mother, expressing all of his feelings and generally thanking his mother and the Six for raising him when times are rough. It's poignant because Drake is speaking directly to his mom, and he realizes that he hasn't always done right, he hasn't talked to his mom as much as he should, and he's very thankful to her for always being so supportive. Now, it's polarizing because it kind of backs up the idea of him being soft. One minute he's talking about rolling with his crew and not taking crap from anybody, and the next, he's calling his mother, talking about all of his issues in life. Maybe it goes deeper than that. It shows that even the hardest people out there have soft spots. Not that Drake is hard at all. He's very emotionally driven, so in the context of this mixtape, I guess it passes. Now, let's talk about the last two tracks in the mixtape, Jungle and 6 PM in New York. Before this mixtape came out, Drake released a short film called The Jungle, where it shows him rolling around with his crew, and there were snippets of this track at the end. The Jungle is more of a love and heartbreak song all at the same time. It talks about a girl from the jungle, which is a rough section of Toronto, Canada, and Drake's relationship with her. It's perhaps the most intricate track on the entire mixtape. So yeah, you have the last track, 6 PM in New York, and this track was not only my favorite song, along with Legend, but it also kind of made me mad in a good way. This track had the most of Drake actually spitting. This track is non-stop fire, but it comes right at the end, and no other track on the mixtape is like this one. And it made me kind of upset that more tracks on here didn't emulate the pure heat that this particular track had. Overall, to me, this mixtape was only okay. Very few things stuck out for me, like I said before. The beats were hot, no doubt, but if the rapping is only subpar, then the beats are the only good thing about it. Of course, I can't leave out the singing aspect of it. Drake is definitely a good singer, I can't deny that. It's just that I kind of wish he'd give us one or the other. I can't decide if this is a singing album or a rapping album. Really, it's both. And in a lot of the tracks he does both, but when he shows his true rapping prowess on tracks like 6 PM in New York, it begs the question of why he didn't have more of that. But it's definitely a mixtape that's worth checking out. I don't know if I would recommend buying it, but definitely listen to it before buying it or deciding if you want to buy it and adding it to your collection. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. This is another album/mixtape review. If you like this review, please hit that like button as well as hit that subscribe button. It really helps, and you get to know more about what I'm doing. And if you want to ask for or request a album or song review, you can say so in the comments or hit me up on my Facebook or my Twitter. The links are in the description, and I will see you all in the next video. So long.